Alright, for this project you are going to be doing what's called a low poly animal. Got lots of examples out there, got a lot of student work, other student work. The thing about this project is it's a pretty stock exercise for younger designers. Just again, it's kind of getting you comfortable using the pen tool. It's not a difficult assignment, and I will say that the ones that come out well, come out really well. Let's see if I can find some examples. We'll put low poly animal Illustrator. Yeah. So yeah, something like this looks awesome. Some of them are a little bit more simplified. We'll talk about it, pardon me, in class, how to achieve certain types of looks from the more iconic to the much more modeled and detailed. There are, oh wow, I feel like a kid turned this in. Anyways, you choose whatever you want. I went to Unsplash, and I would encourage you to do the same thing. Find an animal. Guys, it does need to be an animal. Don't do humans. Don't do cartoons. Find a photograph. That's really going to be important. I chose this frog right here. So the next thing I need to do is, here's your mind map for a different project, is you're going to go to File, New, and we are going to go under the print setting, and we're looking for tabloid, which is 11 by 17. Now it's up to you if you want to do landscape or portrait. Kind of let your photo dictate the orientation. You'll notice that this photograph is much taller than it is wide, so I'm going to stay with portrait orientation. Choose Create, and then I'm going to go to File, Place. Since I've already downloaded it, there it is right there. Choose Place. And instead of clicking once, what I'm going to do is I'm going to click, hold, and drag to pull this out. So it's pretty close to the right size, just like that. And then the big thing here is make sure that you choose Embed. If you don't embed, you're going to lose your image. So you're definitely going to want to do that. Alright, now that I've got it embedded, I'm going to go over to Layers. We've done this a few times now. I'm going to turn it to a template, so I need to double click. Call this Temp for Template. Choose Template, and make sure that Dim to 50% is enabled, and choose OK. Alright, so it's locked up, it's a template. Now I can make a new layer. This one I'll call Trace. And I'm ready to get started. Now it's a good idea right now to go ahead and save it, so I'm going to File, Save As. I'll put this to the cloud. Call this Frog Low Poly. I don't want to see any untitled this semester or recovered this semester. What that lets me know is you're not saving your work, so you got to get in the habit of doing that. Alright, make sure I'm on the trace layer, and let's get started. Now here's a couple just kind of good practices. You don't ever want to be zoomed in to this percentage, like 600%. That's way too much. That's not the point of this exercise. So I'm going to say really about 200%, maybe 300 is the tightest you'd ever want to zoom in. From here, you're going to use the pen tool. Don't use the curvature tool for this. You're just going to want the straight pen tool. And you're going to create a series of shapes. Generally speaking, they're triangles or diamonds or some type of like polygon like that. And it's important that you kind of try to imagine the contours of this, meaning that this is a two-dimensional image. You know, it's flat. But the image itself, like the photograph, the frog, does have volume. So you're going to try to replicate that volume with your triangles. So you don't want giant triangles, something like this. Like that's just going to flatten out the shape. So instead, what you're going to try to do is try to find the angles or the volume of the shape. So in this case, if I'm trying to make this eye appear round, I'm going to try to push my triangles that way. Now, there's a few things that I would highly encourage you to do. I'm going to back that up for a second. One, I'm going to go to Edit, Preferences, and we need to change a preference under the General. We need to disable Auto and Add Delete. By disabling this, this is going to really help the way that I draw. Otherwise, every time you touch an anchor point, you're going to delete it. The other thing is, under Properties, I'm going to turn the fill to nothing, and I'm going to turn that stroke to a magenta. All this will get changed later. I'll probably pull the weight down to like a 0.25. I'll zoom in one more time. So I'm at 300%. I don't want to go any tighter than this. And I'll start to work my way around. Now the other big key here is make sure you close your pads. Make sure that that last point touches an end point. If you don't do this, and I've seen this quite a bit, sometimes you'll have giant pieces of shapes only to find out that they didn't quite fill right. So I'll keep working my way around here, and I'm going to save the coloring till the very end. And yes, you will have some gaps. That's totally fine. Just taking my time. It's pretty mindless, so try to zone out. What we say, like, try to find your zen, and just take your time and work your way around here. Generally speaking, the more shapes you have, the more detail that your image will embody. All right. For areas of high detail, you'll probably want more shapes, but this is kind of how it's shaping up right now. I'm going to keep working my way around it, and if I get bored, I'll go on to a different piece. And you can see I'm not doing straight triangles, but I am trying to recognize the roundness of areas and trying to make sure that my shapes kind of adhere to that. So that's really about it. Once you're done with all of your shapes, then you'll move on to the coloring process, and I'll have another video for that. Good luck!